So good evening, everyone. I am Sumit Salpekar, one of the organizer of SUG Nagpur, along with Mahima Patel, Neha Pasi, and Vikrant Punwatkar. It's important to mention that all the SUG events, SUG Nagpur events, are supported by Proficient. Today is another exciting day as we come together to explore about Sitecore XM Cloud. And the topic name is diving into the world of Sitecore Composable, demystifying the XM Cloud. Before we dive into the today's discussion with our speakers, just wanted to mention if you are interested speaking at SUGCon India this year, now's the time to submit your proposal. The final date of the submission is March 31st, so be sure to submit your proposal before that. Now I would like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed speakers. Our first speaker is Varun Shingarpure. He is no stranger to the Sitecore community, having been honored with the Sitecore MVP title 5 times. Currently, he holds the position of Sitecore Technology Lead at Horizontal Digital. Along with Varun, we will hear from Devanshi Kakade. Devanshi is the certified Sitecore developer and senior Sitecore developer at Horizontal Digital. So welcome Varun and Devanshi. With your extensive experience, there's no doubt we will gain valuable insight from both of you. So if and for attendees, like if you guys have any questions during the session, feel free to type them in the chat. We will make sure to answer them before we wrap up today. So, all right, without any further delay, let's dive into the exploration of Sitecore XM Cloud. Over to you, Varun and Devanshi.
Yeah, thanks, Sumit. Thank you, SUG Nagpur team. I want to firstly thank for two things. Number one, the opportunity to present, and thank you for having this platform wherein we can contribute to the Sitecore community in a way. And to all the ones who are attending this session, thank you for your time. Devansh and I, we will try to make sure that this 1 hour of session will add value to your to your technical skills. All right. Yeah. All right. So, Devanshi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi all. I'm Devanshi Kakade, working as a senior Sitecore developer at Horizontal. I'm I have total experience of 7 years. I'm beginner to the Sitecore community. I hope this session goes well with Varun, and thank you SUG Nagpur for giving me this opportunity, and thanks Varun for supporting me in this session.
Anytime. All right. Well, that's me. I'm Varun Sringarpure, a developer by passion and profession. Luckily, been in Sitecore for last 13 years, and I've been at Horizontal for the last decade. Started off as a developer, of course, and currently working in capacity of a senior technology lead. Um, I am also co-founder of a user group, Sitecore User Group India, and host of a podcast called Sitecore Tech Talks. And when I'm not doing technology, I'm still doing a little bit of technology because I'm a DIY hobbyist for IoT devices. I make small devices at home. Most of them don't work, but at least some of them do, which I'm happy about. And I am an avid gardener, where I spend time with my two cute little daughters. All right. So before we dive into the topic of demystifying XM Cloud, let's understand the history of the experience platforms. So initially, in the late 90s and 2000s, when content management systems per se came into existence, they were specifically to be installed on machines and utilized in a given enterprise. That is how they started off, and they were being utilized, as maybe on a server and through desktop machines. Furthermore, when web platforms came into picture, these CMSs were then supported using the web experience management, and some small digital and marketing features were available in them. Fast forward 10 years, came in the digital experience platform, where along with content management, various other digital experience features and making sure that omni-channel and stuff like that, and journey building and journey maintenance, all these things are a part of the DXP. Today, what we have is the same DXP with additional features, but in two main flavors. One being monolith and second being composable, right? So then what is monolithic versus composable, right? So if we look at it from, from a simple diagram per se, without considering anything in Sitecore right now, monolith DXPs, you can say kind of one-stop shops where everything is bundled up into one environment or into one solution, right? And that one solution is basically by one vendor. So everything, whether you say CMS, whether you say CRM, whether you say the presentation layer, you say the infrastructure, yeah, of course, I mean, you can have it on your own infrastructure, but then that also is provided by your vendor or your software partner, and you build everything in that one particular environment, right? While composable, think about this as a big block, and then now think about Lego blocks. So just break all these components into Lego pieces and then put it separately. That is your composable. Everything remains same, but instead of building it out in one vertical block, what happens is basically they are different pieces in the puzzle and they are placed differently. Now, here is the interesting thing about composable. When we say monolithic, you have one software vendor or one software partner taking care of the whole infrastructure. But in composable, because all of them are Lego pieces, we can replace one Lego with some other Lego, and still your your particular architecture remains exactly the same. So as an example, let's say we have, for this particular piece, which is customer, right? We have right now we are considering Sitecore and we are saying CDP, but you know what? There is already Salesforce CDP implemented in a company, so no issues. We'll replace the Sitecore CDP with Salesforce CDP, and all the other pieces will remain as is because everything is something called Jamstack ready, right? It is API managed. It supports your JavaScript frameworks. It is microservices based. So everything can still function exactly as it is supposed to function with a different Lego piece, which is of the customer in this composable block. So let's think about this. I mean, this is good from an from a non-technical perspective per se. But what about a Sitecore developer, right? So let's understand with an example. With our usual monolithic developments with Sitecore XPs, what we used to do is we used to have the jobs and news and all those examples, right? So what we used to do, we used to bring them, like we used to write utilities and bring this into our Sitecore solution, right? And then display things on a website or put them out on the website. And what was the reason behind it? The main reason was our presentation was tightly coupled with our content. And we had to make one system as our main system so that everything can be collated in one system, put there, and then they can be put onto your web print or your web presence or website, right? But now think about it. So this is, if you can look at the image on the left, that is your monolith, right? Now think about a composable development in this case. Let's take the same example. All right. Let's say we are doing composable development with the various pieces. And right now I'm not even considering all the other pieces. I'm just taking XM Cloud or the content management in a composable world per se. So we might have these jobs, news, blogs, forms, all these things at different locations and different systems, right? When we are building it composable, we can keep all these systems separate and we can collate them directly onto our website using APIs or middlewares. This is exactly the difference that happens when we go from monolith to composable. I think now we can jump into why composable DXP, right? So let's divide this why from two aspects. Okay, one aspect is of course the business and marketing aspect, and the second aspect is all of us, the technical aspect of it. So when we look at it from the business and marketing teams aspect, what matters more is how fast can we get things onto production. I am buying a solution, I'm investing my money into something. How fast will I be able to, get the fruits of my investment? Second is the amount of payment that I do, right? For example, if I have to buy a Sitecore license versus if I go with a SaaS product like XM Cloud, which is kind of pay as you go, right? I don't have to pay 100 rupees right now. 100 rupees will be cut at an interval of, let's say, 10 rupees per year or something like that, based on my usage, of course. And then I can keep using those features and keep getting my features out which matter to me more from a business and marketing standpoint. I can get more creative and I can get, very much innovative. I want to develop, I want to have various mobile apps. I want to have various stickers. I want to have a website which is having, the latest of technologies and super fast loading with great Google speed score. I can do all that because now my presentation is not directly coupled with my content. It is separate. And last but not the least, cost effectiveness. Let's take an example for cost effectiveness. All right. So let's say I have Sitecore XP and I also have, the personalization, which is enabled. Now for any project of Sitecore XP, whenever we are building out a website and then getting personalization on, it takes a duration, right? Let's say 3 to 6 months to build out a website. And then we will start building on that MVP and add more personalization features and other analysis features. But we have already bought the license, which means for those 6 months till when personalization was not being used, I still had to pay for that license, right? Fast forward to the composable world. You know what? I am currently focusing only on building my website in XM Cloud. I'll only buy the license to XM Cloud, nothing else. Tomorrow, once my website content and everything is in a place which is, which is what I wanted, well, now is the time when I switch over and I go to Sitecore and say, you know what, get me CDP and personalized license. I want to build personalized experiences for my clients. This is how you can have cost effectiveness. You can save that cost of 6 months, and that will give you even more leverage to build more marketing features and more strategy for your, your customers. Yes, enough of business and marketing. All right, let's go to technology. So from a technology team standpoint, uh, what matters to us most is, of course, we all crave to learn new technologies, right? So it's about more about gaining expertise into a product. So of course, with SaaS and with Composable, there are lot of products in the market, right? As an example, today, you might have, for example, you want to go ahead with search. It could either be Sitecore search, it could either be Algolia search, it could either be Coveo search. You have multiple options to try out. But then as a developer, you like Coveo more and you want to gain expertise in Coveo, well, go ahead and do it. Who is stopping you from doing it, right? Similarly, you have a freedom of technology stack because with all the advanced frameworks that are now in place and Sitecore supporting them using JSS or also a way to build it yourself, you can build a website either Next.js, React, and even in Angular if required, right? And learn those particular advanced frameworks and know the greatest things of that particular technology. Again, creativity and innovation from a technology standpoint increases here because now you can focus on the latest technology advancements in that particular framework, which you can apply now, which previously was kind of a hurdle. If you have to get something out on using a Node.js application, something with a presentation that is tightly coupled, it used to be a little difficult. But now with this, because everything is different and you do not need to really wait for that content to be available which is tightly coupled, it's pretty easy and you can innovate even your applications while building. And last but not the least, of course, it's the best way for you to go ahead and become a full stack developer, right? Moving ahead, so this is one of the quotes from Gartner, okay, and this was from 2020, wherein they had predicted that organizations that have adopted an intelligent composable approach will outpace the competition by 80% in the speed of new feature implementation by 2023. Now we're already in 2024, and although I cannot really speak for this particular prediction of 80%, I can very well tell you that all those clients which we have worked with and who have gone composable are already reaping the benefits in terms of both the speed to market and the total cost of ownership. Right. And again, the total cost of ownership is exactly what I explained to you. Let's say a license to XP versus license to XM for 6 months. And when I want to go personalize, I will buy licenses for CDP and personalize. So that is the benefit that I get. So with all this, let's jump into Sitecore Composable architecture. All right. So of course, what we'll start off with is the PaaS environment, right? So PaaS, so we have like managed cloud, and in managed cloud we have experience manager, on the top of which is built experience platform, and on top of that we have experience commerce, right? And this is what we in a monolith term, this is our platform DXP. Now, when we consider it from a SaaS standpoint, again, what we did during the overall architecture diagram of monolith to composable, exactly the same thing happens here. All right. So now we'll be able to put those, blocks in logical terms to understand things better. So when we go SaaS, right, the first piece, which is experience management, can now be considered as content cloud as Sitecore defines it. Right. So the pieces in content cloud generally are content of DAM, XM cloud, and content of operations. As far as experience platform is concerned, of course, we have the engagement features, right? The analytics and personalization, which is a part of the engagement cloud in Sitecore, which involves the CDP, personalize, send, and connect. And third one, which is experience commerce. When we look at that and when we divide it into composable blocks, what we have is order cloud, discover, and search, right? So now if we just map each and every one on the left, what we have on monolith is basically divided into multiple chunks and put on the screen here, right? Of course, all the other things remain, like you might have identity in SSO, you might have audiences and personalization, your presentation layer will be there, you will have various middlewares and connectors there, you will have some other content and media also referred to, and that all will be connected with your SaaS platform at the end of the day. Well, but today's focus, of course, is XM Cloud. So then what is XM Cloud, right? So when we look at XM Cloud overall, a few things, I mean, instead of defining it, let's put it from a feature standpoint. All right. So XM Cloud, let's say XM Cloud is a hybrid CMS architecture, which is headless and in combination with various enterprise features for site creation, layout, and page management and stuff like that. One of its, these are all its features, of course. So it is front end as a service, which means you can create and use existing components using, what you see is what you get as a standalone SaaS application. It is cloud native, right? Cloud native. So there are benefits to cloud native, basically, wherein you can elastically scale as per the needs, scale up and scale down. And your user base won't even know that something scaled up or scaled down. Right? Next is Jamstack ready. I believe this word we all would have heard, but for those who do not know about it, it is a JavaScript API and markup basically, which is pre-rendered and already available. Right, so it works with modern JavaScript frameworks to make sure that it is it's Jamstack ready. And then Edge, Experience Edge is included. So as a part of XM Cloud, one thing as a part of learning that we need to know is there is no web database involved. All right, with XM Cloud, we have something called Experience Edge, which is available, and it provides a way of getting things into CDN for us, and that is how it is making sure that our content is visible on our websites. Last but not the least, there is personalization available. So there is one level of confusion, which I generally, in discussions with various community members comes is Sitecore XM on managed cloud does not have personalization, but XM Cloud has personalization. So let's make sure that we have this conceptual clarity. When it is XM on a managed cloud, it will not have any personalization features, but XM Cloud does have some basic level personalization features available, which you can say in session personalization. But of course, if you require any advanced levels personalization, we need to go and buy Sitecore personalized and Sitecore CDP products. And now let's look at it from an architectural standpoint. So when we look at XM Cloud, so when we put it here, right? So this is the Sitecore managed cloud, you can say, all right, which of course is not visible to us because it is a SaaS product. This is kind of a developer. So for all the developers out there, as a part of XM Cloud, you need to set up your solution inside Docker. And the repo that is by default available has all the features available so that this local setup is easy. What happens is we develop our templates and structure, and through the deployment services, the deploy app, basically, we send it out to the XM Cloud instance, which in the background uses Sitecore CLI. Once our template changes and everything is available on XM Cloud instance, we publish it to Edge. And then we have a rendering host. Rendering host is the next application which is hosted on something like Vercel or Netlify. And from there, it connects with our Edge, gets the data that is required, and the content is available or the content is visible on the page. And that is how your page loads. One interesting thing to understand here is this editing host. So editing host is something which internally is available. It has a link with the rendering host so that you can have the preview of your website on your experience editor or pages of XM Cloud. All right. There is a configuration that requires to be done in settings when you are setting up the site for the first time. But when that is done, it basically loads that same particular content as well as the code to make sure that you have a complete preview of the website available before you publish your content to Edge. All right. Well, good about the architecture, but I think it is also important to understand why do we go XM Cloud, right? So as a part of when we looked at the CMSs, how they were coming up, right? It was just CMS and it was web CMS. Then from web CMSs, it went to, DXPs, and from DXPs, it went to, platform DXPs, which is a monolith and composable. So in all this journey, Sitecore has been there from, the web CMS point of view. And we have seen that XM Cloud would technically be a natural successor to XP. And here are the reasons for it. All right. So when you look at XP, we generally have, CMS, then we have analytics, we have personalization. Some of us also have EXM configured. Now, out of these features, we know one thing and one thing for sure, that all users are using CMS 100%, right? As a part of analysis which Sitecore did, there were around 70% of users who were using initial 20% of analytics and personalization features from XP. Okay, and around 30% of users who were using 80% of the rest of the personalization and analytics advanced level features, which means customizations, A/B testing, this, that, right? And only 10% of the overall customers were using the email features. So what does this mean? This means they are paying 100 rupees, right? But only 60 rupees worth of product is used. 40 rupees worth of product is not used. This is where it makes sense. What is being used most should become a product of itself, and all the other pieces can be connections to it or as separate products as required into the system. That is how XM Cloud was born. So XM Cloud has 100% of the CMS features. It has the personalization and analytics right size features for the 70% of people, which is in session personalization. And the rest 30%, if you need to, adopt those advanced level features, you have CDP and personalize. And for those 10% users who were using email features, we have sent available. So eventually, all the customers who are on XP can move to XM Cloud, and whatever features they were using, based on that, they can, buy the licenses for these other products and start using the needful. Right now, one more analogy that is good to understand is that of a Swiss knife. Right now, let's say whenever we go camping, we carry a Swiss knife with us, right? For various reasons, of course. We might require it's. I hope we all know Swiss knife, right? I mean, it's a tool with multiple tools together, and you can use whatever you want wherever you want. So it's a combination of tools, right? Now, it's what is more important here today is finding the right tool for the right job, right? Now, let's say we are applying butter on a bread, all right? So if I am at home, will I use a Swiss knife? The answer is no, right? I'll use a butter knife. While if I'm camping, I'll definitely use a Swiss knife because it is hassle free, right? I just have one tool and I have everything available with me. Similarly, what needs to be understood is it is not the perspective that Sitecore is putting out that now XP is gone. Okay, XP is equally important. XP is equally being used. But what is important to understand is if you are using only the CMS features, why not go with a butter knife like XM Cloud, right? Why buy a Swiss knife for that? Hence, working with Composable is exactly like choosing the right tool. And with XM Cloud, Sitecore is exactly what is putting it out to us that if you are using very specific tools, very specific features, you don't need to buy a Swiss knife. You need to buy those specific knives so that your task can be completed. And I hope with this, we were able to share, the overall mindset that we as technologists need to apply when we move from monolith to composable. I'll quickly go ahead with the nomenclature of XM Cloud, and post which, my friend Devanshi will take us through the various things of XM Cloud. So generally what happens is whenever we look at XM Cloud, there is a subscription which is at an organization level, below which we have projects, and below each project we have environments, and inside each environment we have sites. All right, so we have an organization level subscription. Inside that we have project. Each project is linked to a different repository. Okay, just understand this for now and just remember it. Devanshi will demo this. Each project is linked to a repository, while each environment is linked to a branch of a repository. And then inside each environment, we can have as many sites as required. All right. So this is the usual nomenclature, and this is like a high level diagram to understand things when we look at the various building blocks of XM Cloud. So Devanshi, over to you.
Thanks, Varun. I hope everyone is clear about why do we need XM Cloud. Okay, we'll now quickly go through the XM Cloud building blocks. Here we have considered total 6 building blocks. First is Cloud Portal. Second is Deploy App. Third is Pages. Fourth is Dashboard. Fifth is Embedded Personalization. And sixth is Forms. I hope all is aware about the forms. It just released some time back. Okay, we'll just dive into each building block, and later we'll see on the demo side. The first is the Cloud Portal. Here, as you see, It is a single portal which gives you flexibility to launch all the application which is provided by Sitecore. Here you see Content Hub, CDP, Connect, Personalize. It's a single place where you can switch to different application of the Sitecore which provides you. Through this portal, you can also invite other team members. Then you can jump between different products through this portal as well. Now let's see this another building block of Sitecore Deploy app, which is another building block of Sitecore XM Cloud, which is a deploy app. Through deploy app, you can manage projects. Let's consider you can have different projects, and each project can have multiple environments. Let's say dev, QA, staging, and production. You can do operations on the project level and the environment level as well. Here you can see you can also manage environments. Each environment is linked with the branch. Then you can manage the sites. Each environment can have multiple sites. Next is the pages. This is the new feature you can say which is introduced by Sitecore. It helps you to build pixel perfect front-end experiences which through your data and components. So when you build your components, it will be reusable. Then when you work with the pages, you don't have to save your content. As you move away from your content, let's say from the field, it will be auto-saved. Secondly, when the multiple team members are working on the same page, let's say on this page, then there is no chance to someone overrides your content. Next is the real-time preview. Sitecore Pages provides you out-of-the-box devices through which you can preview your page at the building time itself. So it will be easy for you to judge how my page looks like with respect to different devices, let's say mobile, desktop, and the tablet view.
Yeah, so as far as the concurrent editing goes, the concept here is, there can be multiple users working on the same page, and they can update content in the same page, provided they're updating to different fields of the page. All right, so let's take an example. Let's say a user is updating the title and the other user is updating, a description. That is possible. But if the user is updating the same field, let's say both the users are adding components to your page, then what happens is the first user who adds that component will be available and the other user will get a pop-up that reload the page. Right, so because it is the same page field, which is the layout field, right? So whenever two users are working on two different fields, that concurrent editing is now supported in Sitecore Pages.
Yeah. The next building block of XM Cloud is a dashboard. Here you see once you click on your app, you will see a button called Open App. Once you click on Open App button, you will able to see your dashboard is divided into two parts, the sites and the tools. In the sites view, you will be able to see the multiple sites of your environment. And another is the Launchpad view. It is the same view which we have been seeing in the legacy XP platform. Of course, you will be able to see few blocks which are new specific to XM Cloud. Other things are similar, so you won't feel it is a strange. The next building block of XM Cloud is embedded personalization. So it allows customers to create and publish new page variants and attach them to specific audience. So as Varun mentioned in the previous slide, so whenever we have, as the XP platform supports the personalization, here XM Cloud also supports the personalization. And if you want the advanced level of personalization, then you can buy a new product of Sitecore, which is personalization. Here to achieve the personalization, you can create page variants page variants are associated with the audience builder. This is how it works. We'll definitely see in the demo how this actually cycle works. The next one is XM Cloud Forms. This is the latest feature the Sitecore has released for the XM Cloud. And I know you guys are already aware about it because the Sandeep has already covered a detailed session on this in the SUG Nagpur.
The last session was on it here.
Yeah, and so as we covered or mentioned this topic, the forms in our session, we can say the forms we can drag and drop on the page or any component. So it is easy to use forms, and when you fill a form and submit data, and if you want to send that data to the external system, you can definitely use the webhook. And yet to mature the forms, because as you know, it is just launched recently. So better if we not compare it with the fully mature product like the Pardot. We know that Sitecore builds the world-class product, and of course they will also release the new features with the form, which will be extensively used. Yeah.
Let's go ahead with the demo.
Yeah, no more theory now.
All right. We hope our screen is still visible. If somebody can please confirm.
Yes, Varun,
Yes.
yeah, the screen is visible.
All right. Audio image.
Yeah, so once you are logged into your portal.sitecorecloud.io through the organization which you have assigned access, you will be able to see this Sitecore Cloud portal. Okay. If you click on these dots, you will be able to switch the organization. Here, the quick links are provided to switch between the apps within the organization. Now on the home, you will see the Sitecore applications, Sitecore apps, as we saw in our PPT, Connect, Personalize, CDP, Content Hub, XM Cloud, all the recent projects. Here on your right side, you will see a quick links, which by clicking on this link, you will be directly jump onto the deploy app. So it is just a one click to open the portal. Through this, you can invite team members to this organization. If you are organization admin or owner only, then you can invite team members. If I click on invite team members, I'll need to specify the email addresses of my colleagues. Once you specify it, just provide the access, required access. Also, you can additionally provide these filters. Let's say I want to assign access to Content Hub application or any other application with the particular access rule, user or admin. That is achievable through this feature, invite team member. Yeah, this is all about the Sitecore Cloud portal.
So just to add, of course, right now you see there are some products of the composable Sitecore world available here. In some of my discussions, I've come to know that the other products also are going to be added to this. So this is going to be like the one-stop shop as far as the login of the user is concerned and your access is concerned. So if the organization has multiple products that they buy, then they will not need to remember multiple logins or multiple user managements. It can all be done using the same portal.
Yeah. The next feature of XM Cloud that we show in the PPT is deployer. Let me click on this. I'll be able to see the deploy.sitecorecloud.io. Here you see this the organization. On this organization, I can have multiple projects. As you see, we have multiple projects here. We saw this in the previous diagram in the PPT. Let me go to my one of the project. Here you see project has multiple environment. For example, my project has these two environment, I can create environment from here. I can also see the details of my environment from here. If I click on this dev environment, I am able to see the multiple deployments happened on this environment.
Yeah, I would just like to add here, if you notice the last one, which is on March 18th, auto update deployment by Sitecore. So these are the one of the benefits, of course, of a SaaS product, that the owner of the product keeps sharing their feature updates with us, right? So with XP, we know we need to upgrade our solutions, but not so with the XM Cloud. Yeah.
And also, if you click on this three dots, you will be able to see the deployment logs and the artifacts to another environment. So such kind of features are also available by clicking on one or two times. Here, my dev environment contains multiple sites that is visible here. Also, environment details is available here. All the deployment specific logs are also visible. Here we can define environment specific variable. Let's say for dev environment, I have this environment variables. For UAT, I have these environment variables. I think we are done with the deploy app. We'll jump into the third feature, which is Sitecore pages. Let me open my app. If I click on this my app, you see open app. I can go to pages directly from here. Here you see we have this website which is created from the basic site template that Sitecore XM Cloud provides default basic site template. Here you see the pages gives you the nice view on which you can directly update your content. You can play with your components and see how it looks for the different devices. Here you can see for mobile, desktop and tablet view. You can add multiple devices as well. It is flexible that you can add multiple devices. To add components on this page, you can switch to components tab. You see few components you are familiar with if you are come across the SXL terminology. These components are same like that. You can just drag and drop this component here. Once you have component here, you can style your component using this editor. Here we have various options based on the component which we select to give a different styling features. So through this way, you can accelerate your work to create the site. This is all about the pages. We'll go to the next component, which is dashboard. Let me go to again my cloud portal. We'll see how to navigate to dashboard. We click to my site. We'll go to open app. Here you see my dashboard is divided into two parts, the sites which I have for this environment. Here by clicking on this, you can create a new site by using the inbuilt template provided by Sitecore, and you can create empty site as well. There is another option called tools here. This same the Explorer which we are seeing in the traditional Sitecore XP platform. Now we'll go to the next component of our building block, which is embedded personalization. For that, I'll go to my previous site, this one. Here, let's consider I want to do a personalization for this page. How will I do? I'll be on this page. I'll click on personalize. Here, as we saw in the PPT, we need to create a variant. Here, I will create a variant and give it a name as a demo variant. Now here, you need to create your audience based on the rules. You need to select the condition through which you want to create your audience. Sitecore XM Cloud provides the inbuilt rules. These are the basic rules. To get the advancement from this, you can choose the Sitecore personalized product. Here, let me add one rule, for example. Okay, I'm adding a rule called the visit includes UTM type source that is equal to like demo, save. As I've created successfully my page variant with the audience. Now on this variant, let me add something. Let me remove some content from this component, or else I can add a new component as well.
I think in the interest of time, you can just show the home page.
Yeah. Yeah, on this page, if you see, this is the default page. We have image and the component here. And if I click on the personalized variant which we have created, here I've updated the image for this personalized variant. So this is how you can create page variants and create the audience to work with the personalization. And now the last building block of our XM Cloud is the forms.
Devanshi, Varun, just a quick time check.
Yeah.
After minutes.
Yeah, we are done. Like of course, forms is already demoed.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to touch upon it
Yeah.
because it is one of the main building blocks that is part of XM Cloud, which is added recently, of course. So
yeah,
okay,
so we have a new feature in XM Cloud, which is forms. If I click on this, I can create a form. Once I create a form, I can put that form on any page or any component and we can use it. It is a reusable component. I think most of the things are already covered in the previous session, which is given by Sandeep in the SUG Nagpur.
Yeah, I think we would really recommend watching that session in detail because it covers all the basics of forms. And with that, we are done with our presentation and open for any questions. Team.
Great. Thank you so much, Varun, Devanshi. So the floor is open for the questions, guys. So if you have any question, please post it on the chat. Like I have one question, Varun.
Sure, Sumit.
Yeah, like what are the key consideration during the migration from Sitecore XP XM to the actual XM Cloud?
Great question. The first consideration, of course, from a business standpoint, because of course, technology team always wants to go towards the latest and greatest, but whether it is a business requirement, whether it is the business that they want to upgrade or not to that is what is important, right? The first thing from a business standpoint is the total cost of ownership that the company is, paying right now with an environment and infrastructure. And if we can kind of look at it from a future, let's say 3 to 5 years, what they would pay if they would move from their current infra to a SaaS-based product like XM Cloud. That is always going to be the first step, right? Step number two, of course, if the website or the their web digital footprint is already on a headless environment, the migration is easy. It could be like to like migration, right? But for example, if they are on a older technology stack, let's say if they are on SXA or if they are on even traditional MVC, it doesn't make sense to like, but rather revamp the website as well and bring in more brand guidelines from that particular company, and the same time use the the latest UX and UI to make sure that it makes an impact to their customers. So this is the second parameter of looking at it.
Correct.
The third parameter, and which is the most important parameter of looking at, is the information architecture that is built. Let's see if somebody is already using Sitecore and they are migrating, right? If somebody is using Sitecore for 5 years, 10 years, let's say they have built, with the best practices, knowing everything, but still over the course of time, there are going to be things, happening by mistake or in the interest of time, let's get this done right now and then we will make it better in future, which technically never happens. That they are not right, they are not correct. So we want to set that right at that particular point in time. So these are the 3 to 4 things that we should be looking forward for from an architecture level and from a product level when migrating.
Great, sounds good. Yeah, that answered my question actually. Great, thank you so much, Varun. I don't see any question in the chat, so I guess we can wrap up.
Sumit,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Varun.
Vikrant here.
Yeah, Vikrant.
I have one. Varun, like you mentioned that experience age is a part like that we use here, like as a CDN or a separate service. So if a customer purchases this XM Cloud license,
it is a part of it.
Okay, yeah, okay, fine. That was my question.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Great, thanks. Anyone else, guys? Okay, okay. Then and that brings us to the end of today's insightful discussion of Sitecore XM Cloud. We extend our heartfelt thanks to Varun and Devanshi for sharing their expertise with us. Your valuable insight have undoubtedly enriched our understanding of this topic. Finally, big thanks to all our attendees for your active participation. Also, if you have any topics related to the Sitecore which that you are passionate about and would like to share with our community, please use the link shared in the chat to submit your proposal. We are always looking for fresh perspective and new ideas. And we will reach out to you guys if your proposal aligned with our upcoming events. Remember, guys, that learning does not stop here. Stay connected with Sitecore User Group Nagpur for updates on upcoming events. The video recording of today's session will be shared soon, so keep an eye out on LinkedIn. So let's continue to learn, grow, and explore together, guys. Thank you all. Until next time, take care and wish you a happy Holi in advance.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.